5 p.m. Pacific. Today we are joined on the call by Demetrius Johnson, UFC flyweight champion, Dodson, the number one contender, former UFC light heavyweight champion Quinton Rampage Jackson, his opponent on January 26th, Glover Teixeira, former WEC lightweight champion Anthony Pettis, and Donald Cowboy Cerrone, UFC lightweight contender. At the end of today's call, I will run through the press schedule in Chicago for next week, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and open it up for the first question.
Thank you, sir. If you'd like to ask a question today, please signal by pressing *1 on your telephone keypad. If you're using a speakerphone, please make sure your mute function is turned off to allow your signal to reach our equipment. Again, that is *1 to ask a question. I'll pause for just a few moments to allow everyone the chance to signal for a question. And first we'll go to Karen Bryant with MMA Heat.
Hey, thanks for taking the call. My question is for Quinton. Just curious why it was that you wanted to do all of your training in England this time. Obviously, we know you have a great facility down in Orange County, and just was curious if there was something special about Glover as an opponent that made you feel like you needed to go there to train.
Well, I just decided to do my training in England this time because, there's a lot of tough guys here, and there's a lot of good sparring partners. And it was Christmas time, I didn't want my teammates and my coaches and stuff to leave their families for Christmas this year. So it was easy for me, one man, just to come here than all of them to come to America.
Okay, and but how do you feel about Glover? I don't know, what you thought of his last fight and just how you perceive him as an opponent now that you guys are finally getting a chance to fight.
Well, Glover, I just see him just like I see everybody else. He's a guy who says he's going to knock me out, says he's going to stand with me. So when he's come trading, most of his trading comes taking me down and fighting me on the ground. It's like he's just like the other guys I fought. Sounds like they're kind of like too cowardly to say exactly what they want to do. They're just trying to get me to focus somewhere else so they can concentrate on a false game plan and have me training in other areas. But I'm smarter than that now. I've pretty much found out from his pictures and stuff on the internet that he's basically just trying to wrestle me and take me down to the ground and stuff like that. So I kind of lost respect for him. I used to respect him a lot as a fighter, but now I see his game plan and it's like one of those things where you get kind of disappointed in your opponent. But I'm looking forward to a good fight, and I'm just ready to go anywhere.
Okay, thanks, and I don't know if I'm allowed to ask if Glover has a response to that.
Well, I'm fine. I'm just gonna do my fight.
Okay, great.
And again, that is *1 if you'd like to ask a question. Next, we'll go to Heidi Fang with MMA Fight Corner.
Hello, thank you for the time. My first question is for Demetrius. Do you feel with the title defense coming up that there's any more added pressure for you going in to defend the title than there was in earning the title?
No, not at all. I think every fight's the same. A fight's a fight, regardless if the title's on the line or not. A title is just an accomplishment that I achieved in my mixed martial arts career, and I'm just going to have to fight regardless.
Thank you. And for Anthony Pettis, it's been a while since you've actually gotten into fight. Do you feel that there's going to be any ring rust going into this fight with Cerrone for you?
No, I feel ready. I had to get a surgery done. I took the proper amount of time off, and I'm feeling good.
And if I may, just one last question. When you came into the UFC, you actually had the decision to wait for the winner of Edgar Maynard 3, or instead you went in to fight Guida. Do you ever wonder about the decision and wonder if you made the right choice?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks where I ended up after the loss. I didn't get my title shot. Here I am 2 years still, working my way up. But I think everything happens for a reason, and Guida exposed a hole in my game, and he, made me work harder, and I think made me a better fighter. Okay, next we'll go to Nicholas Cunningham with Hola America newspaper.
Yeah, I have two quick questions. My first one is for Cowboy and Anthony. This was supposed to be a contender fight for a shot at Henderson. Was it distracting you all to learn lately that Melendez is going to come in and get his first shot at the title?
1,
I mean, for me, I'm not worried about title shots right now. It's a year off. For me, I'm just worried about getting W's on my belt. So the title shot's going to come when it's supposed to. I got a tough, dangerous opponent in front of me, and I'm concentrated on that.
Exactly. How do you feel about it, Cowboy? Cowboy, are you there?
Yeah, sorry. I couldn't get the mute button off the phone. I don't know, man. How I feel. I mean, Strikeforce getting absolved and coming over to UFC, he's held that belt for a while. I don't know if he deserves it or not. I mean, it's not for Anthony or I to decide. We're going to go out there and put on one hell of a fight and give everyone what they want to see, and, if they give it to the winner, that's what's up, I guess. But if not, we just wait and do what they tell us to do. But I think both of us have worked hard, and we deserve it. I mean, that's what I feel.
Right. Well, good luck to both of you. I have a quick question for Rampage. You've talked about this being maybe your last fight in the UFC. Have you thought about anything after this fight? How involved with MMA are you still going to be?
Well, I plan on being still involved in MMA. I just want to get this last UFC fight out the way and then enjoy myself as a free agent and see who's interested in me.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Good luck to everybody.
And next we'll go to Adam Martin with MMA Suck-Off.
For Glover Teixeira. Glover, you dominated Fabio Maldonado in your last fight, but at the end of the first round of that fight, the announcers were going a little crazy because they thought you got rocked by a punch. Were you in fact rocked by that punch that Maldonado threw with just a few seconds left in the first round?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you get the guys hurt, and he's coming back. That guy's super tough, and give all the credit for him. He keeps fighting all the way. I mean, he keeps getting beat and keeps fighting. So, yeah, you're surprised a little bit, but keep my composure and finish the fight.
Hey, Glover, one more question for you. Obviously, Rampage Jackson is one of the best fighters in the history of the sport, and he's a former UFC champion. If you defeat Rampage Jackson, UFC at Fox 6, will you be asking for a title shot against John Jones?
I don't think about that right now. I just think this fight coming up, a very tough fight, and training really hard, man. Trying to put up a great fight for the fans, and people get to know me and everything else. But I really don't think of the next fight. This is my next fight right now. It's January 26th.
And just one more for you, actually. How has Chuck Liddell helped you prepare for Rampage Jackson?
Chuck always helped me from the beginning. Always helped him for his fights, and he's come down. He's helping me a lot with wrestling, with the striking time. And Chuck, he's also a great coach. He was a great fighter. He stopped fighting now. He's a great coach, man. He got lots to show. And everything.
Thank you, Glover.
All right. Okay, and again, that is *1 if you'd like to ask a question. Next, we'll go to Jeffrey Harris with 411mania.com.
Thank you all for joining us today. First question for John Dodson. What is it like to be here right now and on the verge of being in the first main event ever, fighting for a UFC title?
That's awesome, to tell you the truth. How many people can sit there and say they're going to their main event and the third fight in the UFC and being only in the UFC for for a year? It's a great feeling. I'm blessed to be here, and I want to make sure I can put on a good show. I want to make flyweights known all across the world right now. They get booed.
Next question for Anthony Pettis. Does it upset you at all about what Cerrone has been saying leading up to this fight? He says you've been running scared for the last 2 years, and you've been trying to ride the gravy train of beating Ben Henderson when you've been dealing with injuries for the last year. Does that bother you at all, what he said?
Yeah, man, it's frustrating. I mean, I'm stuck on the sidelines. I can't really take fights. I had a surgery. Took a while to recover. I want to fight. I mean, I come here to fight. I took a fight when I didn't have to against Guida. I mean, I'm not a guy that runs ever. I mean, I'm not afraid of anybody in the division. I'm gonna fight everybody in the division. So, for him to be calling me out while I'm injured, I mean, it sucks. But the contract signed. We're fighting in 2 weeks. So, I mean, we had to sell the fight. The fight sold. Fans want to see it. I'm excited to be part of it, and we're gonna bang when it comes to 26.
You also said earlier this week that if you try and jump off the cage and do a Showtime kick again, he will grab your ankle and ragdoll you like Hulk did to Loki in the Avengers. What do you think of that?
I think that's pretty funny. I mean, that's funny and clever, but everybody knows what my style is and what I'm gonna do. Try to stop it. I mean, they know I'm a flashy fighter. They know I got crazy kicks. I'm good everywhere, and they just gotta stop it. So you can say anything you want to say, but on the 26th, we're gonna see what happens.
Thank you very much.
And next we go to AJ Perez with FoxSports.com.
It's for Cowboy. What kind of fight do you expect out of this? Everybody's looking at this fight as being one of possibly the most exciting fights we'll have this entire 2013. Do you expect this to be kind of a back and forth? Do you expect this to be kind of one of your trademark fights that are kind of not only competitive but for the fans pretty entertaining?
I think the fight's going to be exactly what all the fans and the media think it's going to be. We're going to go and throw the fuck down. I mean, Anthony is where he is because of where his talent is. I mean, he's not a punk or a scrub. I was just talking shit. I wanted this fight forever, so me being out here getting him riled up to sign the papers, that's just what I was doing. So he's training hard, and I know that he took the proper time to get his shoulder ready, and he's coming, and he's angry, and it's going to be a fight that everyone's excited to see. So it should be fun.
Great, thanks.
And next we'll go to Steven Morocco with MMAJunkie.com.
Have your reasons for wanting to leave the UFC changed at all since you first made the decision?
No, my reasons for wanting to leave the UFC is still the same.
So it's Joe Silva's matchmaking, fighting wrestlers, and...
You say what?
So is it primarily about Joe Silva's matchmaking, fighting wrestlers, getting held down, that kind of stuff?
No. That's just one. This is one of the reasons. It's not my primary reason. This is me making sure I talk crap about Joe Silva's matchmaking.
What is the primary reason? Is it about money?
No, it's not. Nothing about money. I've done this interview several times before. I really don't want to go into it, but I could say I have a new reason. I'm sponsored by Reebok now, and the UFC said I'm not allowed to wear Reebok in the cage when I see other fighters sponsored by Nike and stuff. Why can't I have Reebok? Just stupid stuff like that. But no, it's not just about money. It's about respect. I step in the octagon, I put my life on the line, and I try to be an exciting fighter. I just don't feel appreciated by it. So I'm taking a money cut. I'd rather take a money cut, go to another show, and feel appreciated. So it has nothing to do with money.
When did you get the offer from Reebok?
A couple months ago. I'm sponsored by Reebok. I'm just not allowed to wear it in the cage. So Reebok still taking care of me. They still sponsor me, but the UFC said I can't wear Reebok while I'm fighting, which I think is illegal as well.
Has the UFC or anybody else tried to convince you to stay in the promotion?
Well, they offer a renegotiating contract, but I didn't like it. I didn't want it. I don't want to renegotiate with them. I think that the UFC don't know how to treat their athletes. In my opinion, I feel like the fighters. I feel like we do a lot for this sport, and I just feel like we just not taking care of well enough. I feel like they're getting rich off all of us. Look at us, like we all having surgeries, we having injuries and stuff like that. Man, some of these guys can't even afford to pay sparring partners and stuff like that. Some of these guys fight for $10,000 or $20,000. That ain't right, man. So I don't want to be a part of that sport. Like it's just bad. I don't want to be a part. I want to go somewhere where they take care of their fighters and they treat us like human beings. I'm tired. I've been fighting for a long time, and I'm setting up for myself.
Okay, and moving on, we'll next go to Damon Martin with MMAweekly.com.
First of all, I'll start with John Dodson. John, obviously you've been around this sport for a long time, but you're finally getting into a main event fight like this. But a lot of the attention is going to be on the fights underneath you. But do you feel like this fight with Demetrius is your chance to really showcase the flyweights and kind of steal the show away with your performance?
Of course, I'm looking at a double bonus there. I know I want to get that fight at night for sure, and then try to get anything else I can get in at the back end.
And a quick question for John, you better fight on a different card. You think you're going to get fight tonight, you little mother.
Listen, John, I'm going to get it. Don't even sit there trying to bleed on me. I don't know why you don't think you can.
You better find out if a car you gonna get that boy.
Look, you go out there, you do your job against Pettis, and me and Demetrius Johnson are gonna make sure we can get that fight at night.
Right. One quick question for Rampage. Rampage, I know there's been a lot of attention with you leaving the UFC, but it seems like going into this fight, looking at your Twitter, it seems like you've tried to stay very positive. You've put out a lot of positive messages through Twitter. I mean, has that been your attitude to try to stay away from the negativity going into this last fight?
Right, I haven't been at it with the UFC for a long time, and it turned me to a very negative person, and I just want to be a positive person, and that's the first thing I do. I gotta get rid of all the negativity out of my life. I got rid of a lot of negative friends, even some negative family members. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting rid of the UFC out of my life because they're very negative, a negative output to me. So I just want to be a positive person and be a positive role model for my kids and for other young people coming up. So I just want to have a positive life. So yeah. I'm being very positive, no matter what the outcome is on January 26th. And you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be happy with everything because I've trained very hard, and I've trained to destroy it. I train in every aspect, on the ground, wrestling, stand-up, everything. I train to destroy them and then leave the UFC with a positive note and go on with my life and let the UFC be my past.
And one question for Dave Schaller. Dave, if you happen to know, next week in the commentary team, do you guys know who that's going to be yet?
I'm sorry, say that one more time, David?
For the UFC on Fox show, do you know if John Anik is going to do the commentary with Rogan or who the commentary team is going to be for the show?
I don't have the answer for you at this time, Damon, but I will get you an answer as soon as possible.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and once again, that is *1 if you'd like to ask a question. Next, we'll go to Tim Marchman with Deadspin.
Hey, how's it going, guys? My question was for Demetrius and John. If each of you could give me a scouting report on yourself going into this fight.
On ourselves or on our opponent?
On yourself.
Scouting report on myself. I got to make sure that I stay on point with my cardio and try to fight him on the inside. Demetrius is so good at working everybody's on my range and distance. I got to make sure I'm close the distance and attack at those angles. I got to accelerate faster than he can.
For me, just going in there and doing my thing, man.
And I had one follow-up for both of you. The Fox ads for the show have not promoted a flyweight title bout. It's been promoted as a world title bout. Do you feel you got to kind of go out there and show them through for the division and put the name out there, or do you just kind of let that roll off your back?
I'll let that roll off my back because... Oh, go ahead, sorry about that.
No, go ahead, buddy.
I was like, nah, for them not sitting there saying flyweight, it's still a world title, and that's what they should be advertising. It's a world title fight. You should put two world-class athletes in there, and that's all that really matters, no matter what class we are.
Yeah, for me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I'm still getting in there to fight, and if they want to advertise on just UFC on Fox 6 or whatever, or UFC on Fox 6, Showtime versus Cowboy, doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, I'm still getting there to fight.
Hey, fair enough. Thank you.
Okay, next we'll go to Tom Yo with FifthRound.com.
Hey, I have a couple questions for Rampage. Rampage, to touch on that Reebok situation, could you clarify what reason the UFC gave you as to why you can't wear Reebok in the octagon?
I think the answer my manager gave me wouldn't be fair for the other sponsors. I don't know. That's all I heard.
And as far as Reebok goes, obviously they're probably disappointed because they are paying you. Did they give you a response to the UFC's decision?
They down with me anyway. They like my fighting style. They like my attitude. They come out with these new shoes. It's like the ATV of like the training shoes, and you know what I'm saying. They know that I do a lot of training outside and trail running and stuff like that. And they happy that I'm still putting out the shoes and I train in the shoes, and actually got me in like some of the best shape I've ever been in, training outside, running in the mountains and stuff and everything. So they're happy with me just like in the shoe, and they support me. They know that I'll probably be doing more movies and stuff in the future, who knows, I might go into doing boxing or somewhere else. They'll still hang out with me. So they're not really worried about the UFC. They don't care.
Okay.
They're not upset at all.
Sorry. And if I could ask one more question. Dana White previously said that Shogun had Duck Glover, said he'd rather leave the promotion than fight him, and that nobody really wants to fight him. What was your decision to step up and take that fight against him?
Well, I think the reason why Shogun people just probably want to fight him because who is he? You know, people haven't even heard of him. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Anything can happen in the cage. You know what I'm saying? Like you can lose to a guy who really don't have a name, and then you look at Glover's record, and who has he really fought? You know what I'm saying? He hasn't really fought no really top big names. I think the biggest name he fought was Rico Rodriguez, and Rico was like been past his prime like for like 5 years now. So you know what I'm saying? It's like it's dangerous for people who have who care about their ego and stuff like that. But me, I don't fight for that. I fight for since my career. You know what I'm saying? I never turned down a fight the UFC offered me, no matter who said I ducked about it, whatever. Like the only person I even tried to duck was Matt Hamill. I just didn't want to fight him because I thought he was a boring fighter. You know what I'm saying? And I used to respect Glover because I seen him fight, and like he told him things, and he was aggressive. He come at you until I seen his videos. He putting out, he trying to hold me against the cage and wrestle me and take me down. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like, you know what I'm saying? I think I was really respecting him because I thought he was like a true fighter. You know what I'm saying? So I'm game to fight anybody. I don't care. I don't fight to, you know what I'm saying, have a pretty record or nothing like that. I pay my bills with you know what I'm saying? This I pay my bills. So that's probably why Shogun didn't want to fight him because he probably like he don't respect him. Like who has this guy fought? Like Shogun probably feel like he don't deserve to even to fight him in the UFC. But I don't care. I'll fight anybody.
All right. Thanks, Rampage.
You're welcome.
Hey guys, this is Dave Scholler cutting in. Just to go back to Damon's question from earlier, I can confirm that Mike Goldberg will be on the broadcast with Joe Rogan. So Mike Goldberg and Joe Rogan on the 26th on Fox. We'll go next to Jack Bratcher.
Hi, my question is for Quinton. Hey, Quinton, is there anything at all the UFC could do at this point to keep you, or are you just kind of over it?
Man, honestly, I'm kind of over it. Like I've gave them time again. You know what I'm saying? So like you know what I'm saying, try to keep me happy and stuff like that. And honestly, I don't think UFC. I think they're happy with me leaving as well. So I think it's a mutual thing. So you know what I'm saying. I don't think there's nothing they can do to keep me happy. I just don't agree with the way they treat the fighters and I just feel like we are, in my opinion, I just feel like we're taking advantage of it. I just don't want to be a part of an organization like that.
Are you still having fun doing this? And how much longer do you see yourself doing fighting?
I think I have fun once I leave the UFC, and I can be happy fighting for an organization that I feel like appreciated, you know. And, you know what I'm saying, people who see that, you know what I'm saying, my main objective is put butts in seats and entertain people and say, oh, thank you, man. You came out here, you was injured, you needed surgery, but you still fought anyway, so you didn't back up the card. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's all fighters need sometimes. It's like a nice pat on the back and say, thank you, man. Like most people would have pulled out, but you stayed in and fought. You know, so I think I'd be happy once I go to a place that people, you know, recognize and do stuff like that, and I think I got a few more years in me. You know what I'm saying? Like this training camp is going really well, and my knee is really strong now. I had some of the best doctors and stuff, you know, taking care of me and everything, and I did everything right this camp, and I'm telling you, I feel really, really strong. I think I got a couple more years in me.
You have a gym now, also, right?
I got a gym. I got a gym in Michivejo, and then we got a gym in Temecula.
How's that going? How's it feel to run your own gym now?
Well, to be honest, like, you know, I'm not a business guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't run the gym. Nothing like that. I just go there and train, homie. You know what I'm saying? My business partner, he runs the gym and do all this stuff. I'm not that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? I go in there and I train with the guys and stuff like that and everything in between fights, but that's not all I do.
Observer newsletter.
Thank you, operator. My question is for John. At your last fight against Juicy Formiga, the fight was really exciting, and yet the crowd didn't seem to be reacting to it the way they would to an exciting fight. And I'm wondering if you're concerned about a 5-round title fight and the kind of reaction you'll get in that fight coming up on the 26th.
I'm not too worried. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and say I'm gonna be mad if they start booing because they got all the great fights underneath us. Look at the Rampage fight. Yeah, Anthony Pettis and Cowboy. They got Clay fighting on it. Man, you got all these guys who are gonna go out there and just bang. And that's what me and Demetrius Johnson are just gonna go out there and do. I don't care if they're gonna boo. Shoot, they can boo throughout the whole thing, and I'm gonna still out there go out there and just fight. I'm gonna be excited with it, and I'm gonna be happy with it. All that matters to me.
And quick question for Rampage. You mentioned doing some more movies. Is there anything you can talk about right now, or is that all still in the works? Well, no, there's nothing going on right now. I'm just concentrating on this fight. You know, this fight right here is a very important fight for me. So I put all my focus on this fight. So there's nothing else to talk about. All right. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
And next we'll go to Rodrigo Del Campo with Legidad.
Hi guys, my first question is for John. John, we were just informed this morning that the fight is going to be broadcast to Latin America. In your case, you have Eric Pettis and Diego Brandao as your teammates in Jackson. How do you feel about a flyweight fight being good in the States, but now being broadcast all over the world, and especially in Latin America, where there's a tradition of smaller, admired fighters?
That's actually cool. I didn't know that. Say the truth. I feel. Actually, I don't know. Tell you the truth, that's cool. That it's gonna be broadcast. The lightweight can see that we're gonna be putting on a greater show and we can be part of those main events. We can hit with the big dogs, I guess.
Okay, and for Demetrius, with the fight being broadcast in Latin America and with other territories in the internationalization of the UFC, like Asia, where smaller fighters are admired, is this the way you feel the UFC has to take with smaller divisions from now on?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to answer the best that I can because you kind of broke a little bit, but yeah, I'm excited. I think the UFC is doing a great job, promoting the lighter weight division, especially the flyweight, and be able to give us, this main stage on Fox and national television is just another step in the right direction.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right, and next we'll go to Corey Smith with MMAnonstop.com.
Hi guys, thanks for the time. First question is for Cowboy. You recently spoke about becoming a professional wakeboarder in your off time. Do you think that that'll interfere in any way with your MMA career as far as training or energy or anything along those lines?
No, absolutely not. I don't think so. I do two hand in hand. I go train. My days off, I go wakeboard and play, and it's just what I do to prevent some people with video games or golf or whatever the hell they do. I like to get on the water and wakeboard, man. It's like working out and it's like training and it's all the things I like to do. So it's something that I thoroughly enjoy, and no, I don't think it'll affect my training at all.
Okay, great. And my second question is for Rampage. When you run down your record, it's pretty much a who's who of MMA. Is there anybody that you want to fight that you haven't? And what kind? You spoke about maybe having a couple years left in you. What kind of challenges do you have left when you look back on a career that's as decorated as yours?
Well, I never look at people and say, "Ooh, I want to fight." So I never been that type of fighter. So I always see my career as a career. When an organization puts him up against me, I fight him. And what's your second question?
What kind of challenges do you feel like you have? If you were to move on someplace else. Obviously, you've been here and done everything pretty much possible in the UFC. What kind of challenges do you feel like outside you might have with the next couple of years?
Well, you know what? Honestly, it's like I put my time in. I did my thing. I feel like I just want to entertain people. So I think my next challenge is, you know, say if I go somewhere, I don't want to be very excited. Maybe I want to try some boxing and see if I can do some boxing. I do some kickboxing and probably, you know, my heart is with MMA. I like slamming people and stuff like that. You know, so wherever I go and stuff like that, you know. But I think my challenge is like I've done jiu-jitsu tournaments, wrestling tournaments, kickboxing fights, but I've never done boxing. I think that's probably my biggest challenge to see if I can go and be a pro boxer. And yeah, Kimmel Slice he's doing pretty good. I can do it.
All right, great. Thanks for the time, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and next we'll go to Scott Harris with the Bleacher Report.
Hi, thanks. Two questions. First for John. What is if you visualize fights going in, what would you say is sort of ideal fight? And then the question for Demetrius is you as the new champion, the first champion in the flyweight division here for the UFC. Do you think about your legacy, and what would you want that legacy to be? What would you want people to say about you maybe 5-6 years down the road?
What was the question for me again, sir?
For John, when you think about the fight, what would be your sort of ideal fight? How would you see it progressing? What would your ideal sort of outcome be in terms of the manner of the result?
Just my hand being raised. Okay, that matters. I told you, man, I visualized just my hand being raised. In the night could be a bloody match, a good match, quick one, long. I just want my hand raised.
For me, my legacy, I don't think about that. I just think about training hard, staying healthy, and always evolving and better. You know, 5-6 years down the road, you know, I plan on still fighting and hopefully still being dominant. And, you know, after my time is done, you know, when I'm at the end of my career, just hope that everybody looks at me as one of the best flyweights in the world.
Okay, and next we'll move on to Matt Manzanella with CageReligion.com.
Good afternoon, guys. Thanks for taking the time. This one's for Anthony. I know it was touched on a little bit earlier, but you know, it's been nearly a year since you last competed. And how do you feel the lightweight division as a whole has kind of shaken out during that time? And do you feel like you can come right back in and kind of pick up where you left off?
Oh man, yeah, a year off was a long time. I had shoulder surgery I had to take care of. And the division has advanced so much. I mean, you got Cowboy out there winning 6 fights, you know, fighting a whole bunch, and you got guys advancing, guys losing. Even Lozon went on a win streak. So, you know, I was stuck on the outside looking in. But I do feel like I'm one of the best in the lightweight division. I mean, I'm going to go out there and prove that. You know, against a guy like Cerrone, it's the best guy to prove it against. I mean, he's been dominating guys, you know, all last year. Great fighter, and super hard challenge. So, come January 26th, I guess that question will be answered, you know, if I'm at the top of the division.